Hello students, today we will be studying properties of fluid and theory part is over, so we will be starting with exercise from today onwards. First of all, some solved examples is remaining. We will try to complete it. After that, multiple choice questions and unsolved questions will be solved, which is there at the back of your textbook. So let us begin. Over here, example is there, solved example. As shown in a given figure, the pistons of a cross-sectional area, it is 2 centimeters square, pushes a liquid out of the tube whose area at the outlet is 40 mm square. What they are telling? Piston is there whose cross-sectional area. Piston means what? This is piston. His cross-sectional area is what? 2 centimeters square. Okay. Whenever this piston is pushing inside, this piston is pushing inside, so that whatever liquid is there will rush outside this nozzle, and the area of this has been given as 40 mm square. Okay, so what we will be doing, first of all, further what they have given, the piston is pushed at the rate of 2 centimeters square. They are pushing this piston also at the rate of 2 centimeters square. Determine the speed at which the fluid will leave the tube. So they are pushing this piston at the rate of 2 centimeters per second. Due to this speed, due to this force, whatever they are pushing, what will happen? Liquid also will move out. So by what speed liquid will be moving out, that we have to find out. So let us start. Area 1. Area of this piston is considered as A1 and velocity of this piston is considered as V1. So area of this piston 2 centimeters square. Centimeter is not a SI unit, so we have to convert this centimeter to meter. For converting centimeter to meter, what we do? We multiply by 10 raised to minus 2, but this is centimeter square, so ultimately it will be 10 raised to minus 2 square only. So 10 raised to minus 2 means what? 10 raised to minus 4. So therefore we have written 2 into 10 raised to minus 4 meter square. Similarly, velocity they have given. This piston is moved with the speed of 2 centimeters square. Again over here centimeter is there. Per second is not a problem, but centimeter we have to convert. So therefore we are multiplying by 10 raised to minus 2. Over here, area of this piston, area of this area has been given as 40 mm square. Millimeter. For converting millimeter to meter, what we do? We multiply by 10 raised to minus 3. And it is millimeter square. So ultimately it will be also 10 raised to minus 3 square. On the basis of indices, it will just multiply. So we will be getting 10 raised to minus 6. So over here, it is 40 into 10 raised to minus 6. So we are already knowing equation of continuity. A1 V1 is equals to A2 V2. A1 is the area of this piston, bigger one. V1 is a velocity with which liquid will move through this area. A2 is the area, smaller area of this area, cross-sectional area, and V2 is a speed by which fluid will flow through them. So we have to find V2 over here. A2 is already there. So what we'll be doing? We will be taking A2 in the denominator. So we'll be getting V2 is equals to A1 V1 upon A2. We'll be substituting the values. 2 into 10 raised to minus 4 into 2 into 10 raised to minus 2 upon 40 into 10 raised to minus 6. If you solve this, 2 how many times is 40? 2 20s are 40 and 2 10s are is 20. Okay. Now look over here, 10 raised to minus 4 minus 2. So what will be getting in the numerator? 10 raised to minus 4 minus 2. On the basis of indices, it will be adding up. Numerator will be getting 10 raised to minus 6. 10 into 10 raised to minus 6. After this moves in the numerator, it will become plus 6. So minus 6 plus 6 will ultimately get cancelled. And what we are getting over here, 1 upon 10. 1 upon 10 can be represented as 0.1. So the answer is 0.1 meter per second. In a given figure, shows a streamline flow. It is a streamline flow, means velocity is constant. For a non-viscous liquid, you can imagine water. Water's density has also been given, that is 1000 kg per meter cube. The cross-sectional area at a point A. This cross-sectional area at a point A has been given. It has been given as 2 centimeters square. and cross sectional area at point B is been given as 1 centimeter square. This cross sectional area has been given 2 centimeter square, and this cross section has been given 1 centimeter square. The speed of the liquid at A, they have given us a speed whenever the liquid will flow through this area. They have given us a speed as 5 centimeter square. Both A and B are at the same horizontal level. You can see A and B are at the same horizontal level. So we have to calculate the pressure difference at A and B. So over here what we will be writing, first of all, density of liquid has been given, that is 1000. Area A1 has been given, that is 2 centimeter square. It is 2 centimeter square. Try to understand, over here it should be 10 raised to minus 4. In textbook also it is wrong. Like in the previous slide only I have explained, centimeter to meter is 10 raised to minus 2. But it is centimeter square. So ultimately it will be 10 raised to minus 4 meter square. Over here also they have done the same. A2 is equals to 1 centimeter square is equals to 10 raised to minus 4. It should be V1 is equals to 5 centimeter per second. So over here it is right. That is 5 into 10 raised to minus 2 meter per second. But as both A and B are at the same height, or A and B are at the horizontal level, same horizontal level, so H1 is equals to H2. So what we are doing, by equation of continuity, we want to find out first of all the velocity at this point B. For this we are substituting the values, that is V2 is equals to A1 V1 upon A2. A1's value is what? A1's value is 2 centimeter square, 5 into 10 raised to minus 2, and over here centimeter to meter they are writing 10 raised to minus 2. After doing, you will see that 10 raised to minus 2, 10 raised to minus 2 will get cancelled. Over here you will see that they are getting the right answer, because ultimately this is a ratio A1 upon A2. Ultimately whatever is centimeter square will be getting cancelled. Centimeter square will be getting cancelled. So even if we don't convert it and keep it as it is, then also it will not be making any sort of mistake, because it is a ratio. Whenever it is in a ratio, it will not make any sense when both the ratios, both the quantities are having same unit. You can see area A1 was also having centimeter and A2 was also in centimeter only. So even if we don't convert it, whenever they are in ratio, then it is by default right. Okay, so and 2 5s is 10. So what we have got, velocity at this point B is 10. Now we will be using Bernoulli's equation. Now Bernoulli's equation tells us the pressure difference into dV. Pressure difference P1 minus P2. Over here pressure is P1 and over here pressure is P2. Okay, so P1 minus P2 into dV is equals to half rho dV into V2 square minus V1 square plus rho dV G H2 minus H1. But you will see that over here we have already written H1 is equals to H2, because both A and B are at the same level. So ultimately this term will be cancelling out. So ultimately we will be left with P1 minus P2 bracket dV into half rho dV V2 square minus V1 square. Okay, we want to find out this dV P1 minus P2's value only we have to find out. So we will be concentrating on this term only. Half is written as it is, rho's value has been given. Okay, over here V2 square minus V1 square, V2 velocity V2 what we have got, 10 square is what, 100. Okay, and V1 is what, 5 into 10 raised to minus 2. But 5 5 is what, see, 5 into 10 raised to minus 2. So ultimately what will be getting, 5 5 is, if we square it, what will be getting, 25 into 10 raised to minus 4. Okay, so what they are telling, it is 10 raised to minus 4, means from here after, before 4 decimals it should be having, see, 1 2 3 and 4, means 1 0 will come over here, another 0 will come over here. So ultimately we will be getting 0 point. Okay, so what we are getting, 0.0025. If we subtract 100 minus 0.0025, we will be getting the answer as 99.99. And 1000, if we divide by 2, we will be getting 500. So 500 into 99.999, we will be getting this answer. This answer, after solving, it can be written in this manner also. After seeing this, whatever answer you are getting, you have to see in the Okay, this is not an MCQ. If you leave the answer like this also, then only also it will be marked as a right. You can write the answer as 5, 9, 9, 9, 8 Pascal, then also it will be marked as a right only. Nobody will be giving you wrong. Until and unless you are writing SI unit, write SI unit as well as this also. Next one. A door of a dam are open. The doors of a dam are 20 meter below the surface of the water. Take for example, surface of the water is over here and door of a dam. This is a dam. Many doors are there. Okay. From here to here, surface of the water to window is 20 meter. If one door is open, if we are opening one door, okay, what will be the speed of the water that flows out of the door? All doors, there are many doors. Out of that, only one door is open. So we have to find out the speed by which the water will be rushing out or moving out. Height we are knowing 20 meter. From Torshley's law, what we get, V is equals to under root 2gh. G is what? Acceleration due to gravity, that is 9.8, and h is what? 20. So after multiplying this, we'll be getting root 392, and root 392 you can use logbook and get the answer. You will be getting that is 19.79. You can by default also think like this also. 400 is 392 is very near to 400. 400 square root is what? 20, and 19 square root might be something 39 something. So it is in between both of them. So we can write it as 19.79. You can use logbook also, as in the board exam logbook is also allowed. And in logbooks there is square root page also. Next one. Water flows through a tube in a given figure. Water is flowing through a tube in a given figure. Find the difference in the pressure, mercury level. We have to find the difference in the mercury level. If the speed of the flow of water at point A is 2 meter per second. At point this, what is the speed? That is 2 meter per second. And at point B, the speed is 5. At point A, the speed is 2 meter per second. At point B, it is 5 meter per second. What we have to find out? We have to find out the difference in the mercury level. You can see this mercury level is below it. Okay. Mercury level at one end it is rising and one end it is falling down. So we have to find this difference in this mercury level from year to year. What is the difference that we have to find out? ठीक है, यहाँ से यहाँ तक का difference find out करना है. So it can be denoted as H. So we are knowing the formula, that is 2gh is equals to v2 square minus v1 square. We have to find out h. So 2g will go in the denominator. So we will be writing 25 minus 4 upon 2 into 9.8. So after solving, we will be getting this answer. Okay. Now we will be starting with the exercise. This is a unsolved MCQ which is given. Over here, what does the question states us? Try to understand. A hydraulic lift is designed. Hydraulic lift is designed to lift heavy object. Hydraulic lift is designed to lift heavy objects which is of mass of 2000 kg. The area of a cross section of the piston carrying a load is 2.25 into 10 raised to minus 2 meter square. Okay. Over here, there. What is the maximum pressure in the smaller piston? Would it have to be bared? Take for example, this is a heavy load which we have to be lifting. Okay, and over here, which is a small force we have to apply, and this is the heavy load which we have to lift. Okay, with the help of first of all, let us see whatever term has been given. Mass. What is the maximum mass which can be lifted? That is 2000. So small mass is equal to small m is equal to 2000 kg. What is the area of the cross section of the piston? What is the area of the, take for example, over here we can load maximum mass of 2000 kg, and area of this piston they have given as 2.25. Area of the piston they have given as what? 2.25 into 10 raised to minus 2. Okay. We have to find out the pressure, maximum pressure in the smaller piston. Okay. Over here 2 pistons are there. We will imagine this as P2 and this as P1. P2 is a small force which we apply. P1 is a heavy load which we can displace by applying very small amount of force. Okay, so pressure we have to find out. Pressure's formula we are already knowing. Pressure is force upon area. So what we have to find out? We have to find out this P2. ये P2 हमें निकालना है. Okay, but according to Pascal's law, what does Pascal's law states is that P1 is equals to P2. Whatever pressure we will be exerting from this end, similar pressure will be applied at this vehicle. So therefore vehicle will be getting lifted up. Okay, so P1 is equals to P2, but P1 can be written as F upon A, force upon area. Force is what? Weight, and weight can be written as M into G. What is M? 2000 it has been given. G's value we can take as 9.8. Area of this cross section has been given as 2.25 into 10 raised to minus 2. We can substitute all these values. We can substitute all these values. After substituting, we will be getting, see there are, after 2000 consists of 3 zeros, so it can be written as 2 into 10 raised to 3 into 9.8, 2.25 into 10 raised to minus 2. If we multiply 2 by 9.8, if we multiply 2 by 9.8, you will be getting the answer as 19.6 into 10 raised to 5. 19.6 into, how I am getting 10 raised to 5? See over here, it is 10 raised to 3 in the numerator. But in the denominator, what we are having? 10 raised to minus 2. As soon as this goes in the numerator, it will become plus 10 raised to 3 plus 2. So 10 raised to 3 plus 2, we will be getting 10 raised to 5. 19.6 upon 2.25. If you solve this 19.6 divided by 2.25, you will be getting the answer as 18.711 into 10 raised to 5. Okay. In order to bring nearest to the answer, we can shift one more decimal on this side. As we are shifting one decimal on this side, it will add up. So we will be getting 0.8711 into 10 raised to 6. That is your answer A. So correct option is A. Next one, two capillary tubes of radii 0.3 centimeter and 0.6 centimeter are dipped in the same liquid. Okay, are dipped in the same liquid. Take for example, one container is there, one capillary tube and another capillary tube is dipped on a same liquid. One capillary's radii has been given. Take for example, this capillary's radii is 0.3 and this capillary's radii is what? 0.6. Okay. The ratios of the height through which the liquid will rise. What we have to find out? The ratios of the height means by what height the liquid will rise in both of them. We have to find the ratios of them. Okay. R1 we are knowing, that is 0.3 centimeter, and R2 also we are knowing. But we are knowing the formula that radius is inversely proportional to the height of the liquid rise. Radius and height are inversely related. As they are inversely related, if R1 is over here, naturally H1 will be in the denominator. Similarly, R1 is over here, H1 is in the denominator, and R2 is in the denominator, so H2 is in the numerator. So we will be substituting R1's value, that is 0.3, R2's value, that is 0.6. This point and point will get cancelled because both the points are after first decimal only. Okay, but 3 upon 2, it can be written as half. So we can do it ulta, invertendo, because we want the ratios of first height, first rise of the capillary to second rise of the capillary. So H1 upon H2, so we will be doing it ulta, we will be getting the answer as 2. 2 means what? The ratio is 2:1. So the correct option is B. Energy stored in a soap bubble of diameter 6 centimeter and tension is 0.04 Newton per meter is nearly what we have to find out. Okay, diameter of soap bubble has been given, that is 6 centimeter. Tension has also been given, that is 0.04 Newton per meter. But in the formula we are knowing radius, so R is equals to D upon 2, diameter upon 2. What is diameter? 6 centimeter. So if we divide 6 centimeter by 2, what will be getting? 3 centimeter. Again it is centimeter, so we have to multiply by 10 raised to minus 2 for converting it into meter. Now work done or the energy stored. Energy stored is equals to work done. So formula is dW is equals to surface tension into area. Surface tension's value already we are knowing, that is 0.04. ठीक है. Area over here we will be taking 4 pi r square, but as it is a bubble, so it will be 2 into 4 pi r square, so we will be getting T into 8 pi r square. ठीक है, T into 8 pi r square. So we will be substituting the values now. So it will be 0.04, that is the value of tension. 8 will be writing as it is. Pi again we will be writing as it is. R is what? 3 into 10 raised to minus 2. 3 into 10 raised to, it is like this, minus 2. Okay. So after solving whole of this, we will be getting the answer, that is 9.04 into 10 raised to minus 4. In order to bring it in this manner, what we can do? यहाँ पे जो आंसर है 0.9 into 10 raised to minus 3. So what we will be doing, we will be shifting one decimal on this side. Whenever we will be shifting one decimal, we have to add 1. So minus 4 plus 1 will be getting as minus 3. So therefore 0.904 into 10 raised to minus 3 joule is the answer. So the correct option is A. Fourth one, two hailstones of radii is of the ratio 1:4 falls with the greatest height through the atmosphere. Find the ratios of the terminal velocity. Imagine hailstone is falling through the air. Hailstone, if the ratio of the radii, if this hailstone's ratio is 1:4, means it is 1:4. Now we have to find out the ratios of the terminal velocity. Okay, so R1 upon R2 is 1/4. Terminal velocity's formula is V is equals to 2 upon 9 R square. It is like this. R square, density of solid minus density of liquid, G upon terminal velocity. Okay, so we can make this formula as this one. Just 1 minute. Sorry, this is not terminal velocity. This is coefficient of viscosity. ये क्या है? Coefficient of viscosity. Okay. What is this called? Coefficient of viscosity. But if you see this formula, what is the relation between velocity and radius? They are directly proportional. Velocity is directly proportional to r square, because in this formula it is r square. ये formula में क्या r square है? So v1 upon v2 is equal to r1 upon r2 whole square. Over here what has been given? 1/4. So 1/4 square, 4 square, 1 square is 1 only and 4 square is 16. So ultimately we will be getting the answer as 1/16. So the correct option is C. In Bernoulli's theorem, which of the following term is conserved? You have to understand this. Bernoulli's theorem states as what? Pressure plus kinetic energy plus potential energy is equals to constant. This is Bernoulli's theorem. Means what? This whole term, what is this 3 terms denoting? This 3 terms is denoting energy. So energy is always conserved in case of Bernoulli's theorem. So the correct option is D. Now we will start with a brief question and answers. Why is the surface tension of paint and lubricant oil kept low? Paint and lubricant oil. If you see the person who paints, as soon as he puts paint, that paint फैल जाता है अच्छे से. क्यों फैलता है इतने आराम से? Because their surface tension is very low. Okay, so that they can easily spread out. Spread out is the right word. The surface tension of the lubricant and paint is kept low because it can spread out over larger area easily. It can spread out over larger area very easily and faster. If surface tension is high, then it will not be spreading out. As the surface tension is low, so it can easily spread out. how much amount of work is done in forming a soap bubble of radius r. A bubble has a two surface in contact of air. You might be knowing, we have already studied, whenever we will be considering a soap bubble, one is at the side which we are able to see, one side is at the back also, so there are two surfaces. So surface area of the bubble is 2 into 4 pi r square, so it can be written as 8 pi r square. We have to find out work done, amount of work done. Work done is what is also stored in the form of energy. This formula is surface tension into surface area. Surface tension can be written as T and surface area can be written as 8 pi r square. So T into 8 pi r square is the total amount of work done in forming a soap bubble of radius r. What is Bernoulli's principle? What is Bernoulli's principle? Bernoulli's equation is an application of work energy theorem. It is an application of work energy theorem. According to this principle, what this principle states is, work done on a fluid element, whatever work done on the fluid element by the pressure of the surrounding fluid, is equal to the sum of the change of kinetic energy and the change in the gravitational potential energy. Okay, I will read one more time. What does this principle states is that work done on a fluid element by the pressure of the surrounding, take for example, this is a pipe. Okay, whenever fluid is getting inside this pipe, take for example, this is a particle which is moving. What is moving? There is pressure which will be exerted by the surrounding molecule as well. This molecule will exert pressure. Such many molecules will be exerting tremendous amounts of pressure. Okay, due to exerting pressure, what will this molecule will obtain? Some sort of kinetic energy, as well as it will also obtain some sort of potential energy. But kinetic energy as well as potential energy will go on changing. So therefore it is denoted as sum of change of kinetic energy and change in gravitational potential energy. It is given by this formula. Thus the law of conservation of energy is basically a Bernoulli's equation. It can be denoted as P1 plus half rho V1 square plus rho GH1 is equals to P2 plus half rho V2 square plus rho GH2. It can be written as P plus half rho V2 square plus rho GH is equals to constant. This is a Bernoulli's equation. Next one. Why is a low density liquid is used as a manometric liquid in physics laboratory? Why we are using low density liquid? The liquid with a very low density, what is its advantage? For achieving high sensitivity. Whenever the density is very low, then the liquid is very high sensitive. Then the sensitivity of the liquid is very high. Means for a very small change, it will show large amount of variation. Okay, hence low density liquid is used in a manometric liquid in a physics laboratory. For very low change in density or very low change in any sort of parameter, whichever it is measuring, it will show large reading. What is incompressible fluid? What do you mean by incompressible fluid? Incompressible fluid is a fluid whose density does not changes when pressure changes. So density, if this term is denoting density, then density is constant every time. Okay, density does not change when the pressure changes. Density of fluid is constant everywhere during the flow. Now this is a long answers. Why two or more mercury drops forms a single droplet when brought in contact with each other? There exists an intermolecular bonding. What there exists? Intermolecular bonding between the molecules of similar kind of liquid. We have already studied whenever a liquid is taken in a glass or a beaker, there is some sort of force created between the molecules of the water or the liquid and the molecules of the liquid only. That type of force is called cohesive force. Cohesive means what? Force of attraction between molecules of same substance. And there is one more force created between molecules of different substance. Different substance is called adhesive force. Okay. So these two forces are arising due to intermolecular forces only. Okay. So let us read. When the drops of same liquid comes near to each other, these drops experiences a pull towards each other because of their intermolecular bonding, cohesive force, and forms a bigger drop. Take for example, one liquid drop is over here, another liquid drop is over here, another liquid drop is over here. So this all drops will be having tendency of attracting each other. This all drops will have the tendency of attracting each other. As soon as they attract each other, what will happen? The drop will become bigger. And it is happening due to what force? Cohesive force. It is acting due to cohesive force. Because of this reason, two or more mercury drops forms a single droplet when brought in contact with each other. Why does velocity increases when water flows in a broader pipe entering a narrow pipe? When does the velocity of the water increases in broader pipe entering a narrow pipe? Take for example, one pipe is there which is like this. Okay. As the water moves from a broader pipe to a narrow pipe, what will happen? Its velocity at this point will increase, whereas over here velocity is very less. Okay. Over here area is greater, A1 is greater than A2, as A1 is greater than A2, as area at this region is greater than area at this region. So velocity at this region V1 will be much smaller than V2, because area and velocity are inversely related. We will see that only. Let V1 and V2 with the speed of the fluid at P and R respectively. We can consider this P and this R. And A1 and A2 be the cross-sectional area of the fluid at P and R respectively. From equation of continuity, A1 V1 is equals to A2 V2. So we can also write area into velocity is equals to constant. Okay. So the above statement of the equation of continuity shows that cross-sectional area have inverse relation. Cross-sectional area is having inverse relation. Inverse relation means what? If area will increase, then velocity will decrease. This means that if area increases, then velocity will decrease. Next one. Why does speed of the liquid increases and its speed decreases when liquid passes through a constant in a horizontal plane? When speed increases, you might be knowing a constant. Constant means what? Again, a pipe which has been compressed. Okay. So what they are telling, speed decreases when the liquid passes through a constant. Pressure decreases. Whenever the liquid will move inside the beaker, inside this pipe, and whenever this liquid will pass through this constant, what will happen? Velocity will increase. Velocity, why it is increasing? Because area is very less. As velocity will increase or speed will increase, pressure will decrease. We will try to understand this concept now. From equation of continuity, we know that volume flow rate means what? AV are inversely related. Cross-sectional area and velocity are having inverse relation. In constant in a horizontal plane, in constant, whenever the pipe is constant or the pipe is straight, area is decreased. Whenever the pipe is straight, what will happen? Take for example, this is a constant. If we are measuring the pressure at this point, name it B, another point is B. Okay, these 2 points you will see A and B are at the same point. But pressure at B is decreasing. Because of constant. So velocity will increase. Now try to understand this. This is Bernoulli's theorem equation. Pressure plus half rho V square plus rho GH. But over here you will see both are at the same height. So this formula will not be having this thing. Over here, what is happening? Velocity is increasing. Velocity is increasing. Speed is increasing. Speed is increasing. But overall system, overall energy of the system should be constant. Overall energy of the system should be constant. So as velocity increases, pressure has to decrease. In order to keep the energy of the system constant, as the velocity increases, pressure has to decrease. If it is not decreasing, then what will happen? It will not be constant. It will start changing. It will start changing, which is unacceptable. So therefore, whenever the velocity will increase, pressure will decrease in order to maintain its energy. That's what has been written. In a horizontal plane, there is no change in the height as h is equals to 0. So potential energy is equals to rho gh, that is equal to 0. This term will not be there. But as the velocity increases in equation 1, velocity increases in the equation 1, in order to maintain total energy constant, pressure should decrease. I hope everybody has understood. Next one, this is a derivation which you have already studied. Derive an expression for the excess pressure inside the liquid drop. This is a liquid drop. Pi's pressure is more than P0. Okay. Consider a drop of radius R. Then initial area, surface area A1 is 4 pi r square. Initial surface area is 4 pi r square. Let internal and external pressure, internal and external, this is internal pressure Pi, internal, and P0 is external pressure, P outside, respectively. So the excess pressure can be written as Pi minus P0. Pressure at inside is more than the pressure at outside, so it can be written as Pi minus P0. Let the radii of drop increase from R to R plus dr. Over here previously the radius of this drop was R. Now the radius of this drop has increased from R to R plus dr. Okay. Now this hole is the radius. Okay. So that the inside pressure remains constant. Why is this happening? So that the inside pressure is always constant. Now final surface area can be written, final surface area means the radius outside. It has been added by dr, so it can be written as 4 pi bracket r plus dr square. So what is this formula? A plus b whole square. What is the formula for a plus b whole square? A square plus 2ab plus b square. So a square plus 2ab. 2ab. A is what r, b is what dr, plus dr square. Now 4 pi, I am opening this bracket, so I will be writing 4 pi r square plus 8 pi r dr plus 4 pi dr square. But you will see that dr, whatever this length is there, it is very small. It is very small, so we can neglect dr square. Dr square will be more small. Okay, so we will be neglecting this term. So whatever work done can be written as T into dA. dA is what? Change in area. Change in area is 8 pi r dr. Change in area is what? 8 pi r dr. Now work done. Work done. What is the formula for work? Work done is force into displacement. We have applied some amount of force. Due to application of force, there is some sort of displacement. Displacement is denoted by dr. But we are knowing also that pressure is force upon area. So force can be written as pressure into area. वही लिखा है pressure into area into dr. ठीक है, लेकिन यहाँ पे एरिया की जगह पहले का एरिया लिख सकते हैं, that is 4 pi r square. 4 pi r square, pressure is written as it is. ठीक है, by equating this equation, ये भी work done है, ये भी work done है, so we can equate equation 1 and equation 2. So what we will be getting? 4 pi r square p dr is equals to t into 8 pi r dr. ऐसे करके लिख सकते हैं. There are many terms will be getting cancelled. See, pi will get cancelled, dr will get cancelled. This 4 2s are 8, so we will be getting 2. dr will get cancelled, and this r square, it will become r only. So ultimate formula 2 2t upon r, we will be getting this formula 2t upon r. But p, what is p? P is what? relation between both the pressures. P is what? Relation between both the pressure inside minus pressure outside. So we can write this as pressure inside minus pressure outside. Pressure inside minus pressure outside. Okay, I will just 1 minute. I will cut this and show you nicely so that you will be able to understand. Everybody look over here. I will explain this one again. Over here, dr will get cancelled. R and r square will get cancelled. ठीक है, यहाँ पे pi will get cancelled. 4 2 जा 8, 4 2 जा 8 हो जाएगा. So we'll be getting 2t. ये r denominator में आ जाएगा and pressure will be like that only. Pressure will be like that only. या ये side LHS में ही रहेगा and r will come in the denominator. So we'll be getting p is equals to 2t upon r, and this p can be written as, it is the difference between both the pressure inside minus pressure outside. So we will be getting Pi minus P0 is equals to 2T upon R. This is a Laplace equation for a spherical drop, and they have asked us for excess pressure inside a drop and not bubble. Whenever it is a drop, you will be getting this formula Pi minus P0 is equals to 2T upon R. Next one, obtain an expression for the conservation of mass starting from the equation of continuity. We have already done this equation of continuity in the last lecture only. I think you are already knowing it, so I'll just be reading it. Okay, try to understand. The continuity equation, first of all, is a statement which you should be knowing. The continuity equation states that the volume rate of flow of an incompressible fluid for a steady flow is same throughout the flow. From here to here is a statement. You have to by heart the statement. Whenever the liquid is flowing, and what is this liquid? This liquid is incompressible liquid which cannot be compressed, and whenever this incompressible fluid is flowing with a steady flow, is same throughout the flow. Volume rate is same throughout the flow. What rate is same? Volume rate is same throughout the flow. So we will be considering a steady flow of incompressible fluid. For a steady flow, velocity of the particle remains constant at a given point, but it varies from point to point. As the figure, consider two sections, A1 or A2. ये दोनों section consider करना है, A1 and A2. Let V1 and V2 with the velocities of the fluid at A1 and A2 respectively. V1 and V2 with the velocities of the fluid at V1 and V2 respectively. मतलब यहाँ पे A1 जहाँ पे है, wherever it is A1, the velocity there is V1, and wherever is this A2, the velocity is V2. Okay. As the fluid is incompressible, the particle moves faster through the narrow section and slows down in moving through a wider section. Over here, as the area is very larger as compared to this one, over here speed will be less. Over here, as the area is less, so speed will be higher. Area and volume are area and velocity are inversely related. So volume of the fluid extreme at A1 in the time interval delta t. Volume is what? Length into breadth into height. Length into breadth can be written as area and height can be written as d. So volume at A1 can be written as A1 into D1. But we are also knowing velocity is equals to what? Velocity can be written as distance upon time. So distance can be written as what? Velocity into time. तो वही लिखा है यहाँ पे देखिए, A1 V1 into delta T1. V1 delta T1 कहाँ से आया? V1 delta T1 has come from D1. ठीक है, D is equals to V into T. T के जगह delta T. We are considering only small amount of time. So mass of the fluid entering at A1 in time interval delta T can be written as density into volume. ये कहाँ से है? Density is mass upon volume. So mass can be written as density into volume. So we have got mass as rho into A1 V1 into delta T. ये पूरा volume है. In this formula we are just substituting this whole. Similarly, A2 into D2, that is A2 V2 delta T. Similarly, at this terminal also we will be getting mass as rho into A2 D2 delta T. But according to law of conservation of masses, mass is neither created nor destroyed, or energy is neither created nor destroyed. So equation 1, whatever we have got in equation 1, can be written as equation 2 as well. So we'll be getting rho into A1 V1 delta T is equals to rho into A2 V2 delta T. This whole term rho delta T will get cancelled. So ultimately we will be left with A1 V1 is equals to A2 V2. The equation 3 is called equation of continuity. What is equation 3 called? Equation of continuity. For a steady flow, AV is equals to constant. What does this state us? Area is inversely proportional to velocity, and it is also called as AV is equals to volume rate of flow of liquid. AV is equals to dV upon dt. The quantity dV by dt is called as volume of a fluid per unit time. Volume of the fluid per unit time passing through any cross-sectional area of the tube. What is dV by dt called? Volume of the fluid per unit time passing through any cross-sectional area, cross-section of the tube of the flow. It is called volume flux. And rho dV by dt, rho mass is equals to what we have studied, density into volume. So density यहाँ पे आ गया, ये density है, और dV by dt क्या है? Volume है. So this whole can be represented as mass flux. इसको क्या बोल सकते हैं? Mass flux. Explain capillary action. Capillary action. Capillary action basically happens due to capillary tube. So first of all, you have to write the definition of capillary tube. What is capillary tube? A tube having a fine bore. Fine bore मतलब कि एकदम पतला सा होल रहता है, and which is open at both the ends. It is open at both the ends. It is called as a capillary tube. And what is capillarity? The phenomenon of rise or fall of the liquid inside a capillary tube when it is dipped in liquid. You can see over here, this capillary tube is dipped inside a water. As it is dipped inside water, there is a capillary rise of liquid level. When this capillary tube is dipped inside a mercury, there is a the capillary tube is moving down, or it is called as a fall. Okay. When does capillary rise? When does capillary rise? Whenever the liquid wets or partially wets, completely or partially wets the surface. Take for example, this is a capillary tube. Whenever it is dipped in water, what will happen? It will wet the capillary tube. As it is wetting the capillary tube, whether it can be partially or completely, at that time the capillary rise, there will be capillary rise. Capillary rise with what? Liquid level will go up inside the capillary. You can see this liquid level is going up inside the capillary. So this is called as a capillary rise. I will repeat one more time. Whenever the liquid will wet the capillary completely or partially, there will be capillary rise. And whenever the liquid will not wet the capillary, there will be capillary fall. Whenever the capillary is dipped in the liquid and it does not wet the liquid surface, example mercury, then there will be capillary fall or capillary level will drop. Next one, derive an expression for capillary rise of a liquid in a having a concave meniscus. See over here, two methods are there we have already studied. One is pressure difference method, another one is force method. You can solve it by any method. I will be explaining pressure difference method. Another method you can already refer to the previous videos, then it will be clear. Now pressure due to liquid water column of height h. Pressure due to liquid of a water column of a height h, it is equal to the pressure difference 2T upon R. Whatever pressure has been created due to this height h, it can be written as 2T upon R. So pressure difference is H rho G. Pressure difference is H rho G is equal to 2T upon R, where rho is the density of liquid, G is acceleration due to gravity, and H is a height. Let R be the radius of this capillary tube. R is the radius of the capillary tube. This R is the radius of this capillary tube. And theta is the angle of contact. Theta is what? Angle of contact. Then if we apply cos theta over here, if we apply cos theta upon here, we are knowing cos theta is adjacent upon hypotenuse. Cos theta is what? Adjacent upon hypotenuse. If theta is this one, then this R is called adjacent, and this capital R is called as hypotenuse. So cos theta can be written as A upon H, that is small r upon capital R. This R, capital R, is what is called radius of curvature. What is it called? Radius of curvature of the meniscus. This capital R, with the help of this formula, ये formula से क्या मिलता है? Cos theta is equals to small r upon capital R. So this formula can again be modified. This R can be taken upwards, cos theta can be taken in the denominator. So what we'll be getting? Capital R is equals to small r upon cos theta. This is equation 2. And what was our previous equation? H rho g is equals to 2t upon r. So in this R, what we can substitute? R upon cos theta? R upon cos theta. But as cos theta will come over here, denominator is denominator. So ultimately it will move to the numerator. So what we'll be getting? H rho g is equals to 2t cos theta upon r. We want relation in terms of height. So we'll be getting 2t cos theta. This is theta. Okay. 2t cos theta upon r rho g. Where equation 3 gives us what? Expression for capillary rise. Where equation 3 gives us a expression for capillary rise. We have also solved numerical related to radius and height of capillary. You can see H and R are having inverse relation. Means if radius increases, height decreases. If height increases, radius decreases. Okay. Thank you.